So 2 years ago, I had an idea to do a Draw This in Your Style challenge, but make it a childhood favourites edition. I started the series with Thomas the Tank Engine, and did I ever do any more episodes or complete it or do anything after that? No! Whoopsie poopsie. So here I am in 2024, 2 years later, bringing you the next episode. And yes, I sound like I've been run over by a cheese grater. I'm getting over a cold. But please, indulge me for this drawing session. This episode is featuring the brain rot that has been existing in my brain for 14 years, Eddsworld. And for those of you who don't know, it is an animated web show here on YouTube that has existed since 2003. Last year was its 20-year anniversary, and I did a piece of fan art for it, which is actually the background art footage that you're viewing right now. I did do more pieces of artwork of Eddsworld for this video, don't worry. But it was created by the animator Ed Gould. There is no easy way of saying this, but Ed died in 2012. It was then passed to his friend Tom of Tomscar fame, and then after Tom was done with the show in 2016, it was passed to Ed's childhood friend Matt Hargraves. If you recognise the names in the show, that is because Ed based the characters off his friends Tom and Matt, and also Tord, but Tord left in 2008. The show is a mainly slice of life, following the 3, sometimes 4 friends, getting into wacky hijinks and going on really fun adventures. Eddsworld has had 3 separate eras based on the showrunner. Classic was Ed Gould, Legacy was Thomas Ridgewell, also known as Tomscar, and Eddsworld Beyond is run by Matt Hargreaves. I could go so much more in detail about Eddsworld, and I really, really want to. My hyperfixation self is just like, yes, please, go into it more. But we would be here all day if that was the case. So that was just a brief summary of what Eddsworld has been over the years. The characters of Ed, Matt, Tom and Tord became their own animated counterparts. That being said, they should not be considered a representative of the real life people. Just because they were named after the real life people doesn't mean these animated counterparts are the real people. Now let's dive into the characters of Eddsworld and what they're like. Ed is considered the leader, an artist, cola obsessed, who is a sassy pun lover and has a cat named Ringo. His main colour in the show is green. Tom is known to be random and more temperamental. He can be really smart, but he does have a drinking problem. This man has attitude. His most striking feature is his eyes, having no pupils and only a black sclera. Tom's colour in the series is blue. Then we have Matt. Matt is known to be incredibly tall with a formidable chin. And as the theme song says, he loves himself and he has the intelligence of the kitchen shelf. It is implied in the episode Hammer and Fail that he's a collector, or should I say hoarder? I don't know which suits him better. I'll let you be the judge of that.
Oh no! Karma!
Matt is mainly depicted with the colour of purple, however he does have a green overcoat. Then there's Tord. Tord left in 2008, in the episode 25 Feet Under the Seat.
Well, time for me to go.
We'll never forget you, Tord! You or your memory eraser gun! Ah, so many memories.
Can't believe Tord is leaving.
Yes, Ed. I have to follow my dream and make it in the big city.
Fine by me.
Who am I?
Goodbye, old friends.
I'm not your friend.
But his impact on the series is definitely felt, even to this day. Tord's character was portrayed as a Norwegian, trigger-happy, smart inventor type, with a strong dislike of Tom. Tord, through Classic and the Legacy eras, has been seen to be a smoker. He was first portrayed with a black hoodie or trench coat, but later on, his colour became red. I have not been able to get off this hyperfixation train, and even my sketchbook has not escaped this. For the last 14 years, this hyperfixation is something that I've been trying to keep under the surface, but it's no longer happening. The last few years, it's just been bubbling to the surface. For this video, since I already knew I did an Eddsworld piece for the 20th anniversary, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. Since one of the very first episodes I watched was What the Future,
I am you from the far-off year of 2008. The cola has been outlawed as a drug all over the globe. After several years, I realized there was only one choice. I had to travel into the past to kill my past self to spare me from such a grim future.
But that doesn't look very futuristic.
And it's claimed to be Ed's favourite episode before he passed, that he animated. I thought, what better than to do a What the Future rendition of the original 4 main cast? Now, this might be a little bit controversial because all of the designs are canon except for Tord's. Tord's is more of a fanon design that were based off original concepts Tom and Ed had. The fanon concept for Tord was that he became an army leader, specifically of the Red Army. It's a general fandom consensus that after the 2016 episode The End, when Tom blew up Tord's giant robot and Tord survived, his face was half scarred, but he lost his arm from that incident. There are people who hate this idea, but there is actually precedent for this theory, and it's just generally accepted by most people.
Tord came back and why he was evil. And this may surprise you, but this was not actually my idea alone. This was mine and Ed's plan for long before he died. Back in 2008, I had an idea for a series I wanted to create called Super Average. The hope was that after university I would move to London, Ed would animate it and write it with me, but aside from creating some concept art and me writing a pilot script with another friend, it never got off the ground. I moved to London, but Ed died shortly after. But our plan was to have the main villain of the show be this character called Red Leader, the implication, unsurprisingly, being that this is what Tord had gone on to become after leaving Eddsworld, or at least the character of Tord. That's why this character is name-dropped in What the Future.
Meanwhile...
It's a good job Red Leader had a second time travel device.
Because Eddsworld is my brain rot, of course this concept intrigued me to no end. So I seeked out fanfictions that kind of explore upon the idea of a future world run by the Red Army, and how these 4 navigate the world. To quote MatPat, I am all about the lore, the characters and the world building. But I have to warn you going in that if you search up any of these fanfictions, be prepared for a lot of Tom Tord or Tord Tom, enemies to lovers type of stories, because it's a lot. Basically, a lot of toxic relationship drama playing after the events of The End Part 2 from the Legacy era of Eddsworld. How to describe the ship of Tom Tord in any context in 10 seconds or less.
You have 13 seconds before the island fucking explodes, you hot topic wannabe, and you blue gumball son of a bitch. You have done nothing but destroy my life. I hope you both die.
You know what makes this TikTok even funnier? This artist now works on the show. They are what you call doing the Lord's work. I just realised if you don't know of Eddsworld or have no prior knowledge or context as to any of the episodes, or as they are also known, Edisodes, a lot of what I've just said will probably go over your head. I think the best basic summary of Eddsworld is friends going on adventures together, no matter how fantastical or stupid they may be. I love these 4 sillies, they really need to bring back Tord. I know they probably won't, but I need to know what happens.
How dare you!
Eddsworld has always been one of those shows where they make it up as they go along, but when Tom took over the show in 2012, him and his co-writer Eddie Bowley took a more narrative direction with the show, sprinkling in little story beats for later, as well as giving us so many different animation styles. Yeah, you could say that this was inconsistent, but I would argue it's great on an artistic front. It kept the show fresh without really changing anything. It still had that energy and the love that goes into it, it was just in a different animation style. The different animation styles were also a great way to show off collaboration and community, as nowadays in the Beyond era, a bunch of artists from the fandom itself have actually gone on to be official artists for the show, whether it be for the comics or animating the actual show itself. Even social media posts as well. Eddsworld has done a lot for charity as well. It's just been a huge net positive all around. Within the last few years, there's been a huge Eddsworld resurgence, and that's for a couple of reasons. First of all, Eddsworld Beyond launching. Secondly, because of a mod created for the rhythm game Friday Night Funkin'. Versus Tord. This mod went crazy viral in 2021 and introduced so many more people to Eddsworld. The original mod was by BB Pantsu, however it was expanded by other people over the years since then. And yes, I do have the Challenged Ed end mix in my Spotify playlist, because it is that good. I cannot get it out of my head. The bouncy, upbeat tone and the different key changes, it scratches a needed itch in my brain. From what I understand, there have also been songs from other artists that have just been adopted by the fandom, like any song from the band Glass Animals. If you know, you know. But the song Pork Soda will never be the same again. I think of everything throughout my life. I think Eddsworld has been 1, the most constant, and 2, the most brain rotting. Because even if you forget about it, in the short term, it's always there, in the back of your mind, in the long term, just eating away at brain matter, like the zombies, or as Eddsworld likes to refer to them, as zombies. The 3-part series of Zombie Attack and Zombie Nation were sheer chaos, and you can't tell me otherwise. Here's a compilation of my favourite moments from those videos.
Hello? Man is trapped in a zombie-infested train station!
So
we should save him and stuff.
why?
Why?
Why? Because I'm your friend, you butt munch. Besides, I have the emergency coke.
We need to think of a plan.
I know.
An escape plan!
Well, I think it's time that we should be going only trombones and a pogo stick.
Not the Coke machine. Edward. Edward!
Cut that out.
I'm in your car, Edward.
What's your name, Private?
Brains.
Private Brains, eh? Well, let's hope you live up to your name. And get a haircut. For some highlights. Oh, bugger. What a cheesy ending. My arm? Oh, the irony.
So while I'm doing this video, Eddsworld decided to post this to Instagram and Twitter and probably everywhere else. Safe to say, me and the fandom are losing our collective minds. This could have so many implications. But I will say, if this is a long-winded April Fool's joke, then I'm gonna throw some hands. Don't you dare play with my feelings like this. This is the first time that I've even considered seriously getting a U2's figure. That's if I can even get a hold of this one, because I know for a fact that this one is probably going to sell out in 5 seconds. Most likely, even quicker than 5 seconds, because this was just so far out of the ballpark of possibility of U2's figures, or even merchandise in the slightest. For me, this leaves so many questions unanswered, because Tord left wanting to pursue his own thing outside of Eddsworld. Did he find his way back? Or are the Eddsworld team doing this without the real Tord's input? So many questions. The brain rot runs so deep that I actually got this printed on my university printers. Tom commissioned the artist Tommy Bear, also known as Sophie, to do this commemorative piece of Eddsworld legacy. He posted it on his Imager account and allowed the fans to actually print it off and use it for their own personal use, and I still have it to this day. I'll leave a link to it down below if anybody else would like this poster. Now let's go through my favourite Eddisodes. And yes, Eddisodes plural, because I can't pick just one for each era. It's impossible to do so. I love them all for different reasons. Let's start with the classic era. First, we have Hello Hellhole.
I am Lucifer, Lord of Hell.
Can we call you Lucy?
No.
Then we have the Egyptian episode, Ruined.
Jinkies.
The absolute chaos of the Clones episode spares.
Calm down, guys. Clones aren't so bad. I mean, think of the possibilities. Holy bumblebees on a bodyboard! Holy carrot kick on a kitten! Holy reused joke on a webtoon!
The army episode, Moving Targets.
There's no way we're going to regret doing this! Not in a million years!
Substantially less than a million years later.
Oh, bum baskets.
Of course What the Future is on this list. Are you kidding?
Open. Access. Enter. Broccoli?
Then we have Hammer and Fail. This has a special place for me, because I vividly remember watching this on holiday many times.
Huh. Looks like we need more space around here.
Well, I guess the only logical option is to add an extra floor on the house.
Sure, we could, like, hire some builders and then... You do realize none of us have ever... No, wait! What are you doing with the hammer?
Yeah, it appears we might have a very slight, teeny tiny spirit infestation.
Didn't you get spirit insurance?
Damn it, past dead!
Hello, Instroof? Yeah.
From the Legacy era, my favourites are Space Base Part 1 and 2. During the making of Space Base Part 1, Ed passed away. The animation transition between Ed and Paul still makes me a bit emotional to this day.
And the rays that abducted us, and they're probably gonna eat us, and I'm too pretty to die!
Thank you.
This is the helm. From here, we can control everything on the ship.
Remember that time I told you I didn't hate you?
Yeah! I lied!
There's Fun Dad.
Oh no, wait.
Zombies!
You know, that explains a lot, actually.
Sloonatics.
You in what army?
This one.
Okay, you bandits.
And of course, The End, Part 1 and 2.
Harpoons, they're better than spoons. Harpoons. Who goes there?
Hello.
There's not as many episodes so far, but we have Beaster Bunny.
I understand why I wore a blindfold, but making all of us wear them made getting here very hard. That'll buff right out.
I'm gonna miss Tom's car.
And Surf and Turf Wars, Part 1 and 2.
Ah, the simple things. You're a simple thing.
I don't know if anybody from the Eddsworld team or the Eddsworld fandom will actually watch this video, but this series' take on Draw This in Your Style videos is almost like a love letter to all the IPs that I've just taken interest in over the years, and Eddsworld is one of the ones that goes the most deep, especially for an IP that's more indie and homegrown. The thing that I latched onto the most with Ed's work was Ed's work ethic, and the improvement with every single piece that he ever did. And even to this day, I still have that mindset. Every piece of artwork is a stepping stone to something even better. And with the continuation of Eddsworld from 2012 onwards, the writing and narrative style, and the world building, and just the characters in general really did inspire me for my own characters. Ed may have died in 2012, but his world was kept spinning by his friends and his supporters, as well as the fans, because as long as there's a fan of Ed's world, his world will keep spinning. This video has been an absolute joy to make, not just because Eddsworld is one of my hyperfixations, but because I believe Eddsworld is a piece of internet history that more people need to know about. It's brought me joy for the last 14 years, and has been around for over 20 at this point, as well as inspiring the next generation of artists and animators. It really is Ed's world, and we're all living in it. Leave me a comment down below whether you've heard of Ed's world before, ever seen it, or you're planning to go check it out from this video's recommendation. If you like this video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!